very beginning. I was about 12 years old, and in the UK at that time we didn't have much in the way of music of my generation on the TV and the radio. It just wasn't there. A couple of hours a week and that was it. And all the music I heard was really my father's music. He was a musician before me, a piano player, and a really, really good one. But these sounds that I heard on the record player were his sounds. And although I was just a little boy playing with my toys on the carpet, these sounds were going in. This swing, this groove, this feel. And I think subconsciously I was taking notes. Anyway, we used to get a movie on a Sunday afternoon, and quite often they were old biopics or musicals with the great big bands of the 30s and 40s featured in them. And I saw one guy. And even before I wanted to be a drummer, I just wanted to look like him. He looked great. It was exciting, the movement of his arms around the drum kit. And it was this guy. Gene Krupa. He was the one that took the drummer from the back, being a non-entity, to having the possibility to become a personality. Without him, nobody else would have come along afterwards, I don't think. Anyway, my mum had these big old wooden pair of knitting needles, and the next time the movie came on, I sat across the arm of the sofa, and I tried to copy the motions of his arms when he was playing. And although I obviously couldn't do it, I understood why this hand was doing that and this hand was doing that. And this used to be the high point of my month if a couple of these movies came on. And it was him being featured, or another drummer, but him. And I would sit there and wait, and those musical interludes, which were the best bit of the movie. I didn't want the story, I didn't want to love it. I just wanted to see this guy playing drums. I would sit there and I would try and copy what he did. This went on for about 2 or 3 years. I was building drums out of biscuit tins, cookie tins, and just generally making a horrible racket in the house. My father saw that this wasn't going to go away. So on my 15th birthday, he took me to a music shop in Oxford, and he bought me my very first drum kit, which cost the princely sum of £32 and a few pennies, $50, to our colonial cousins. It was a terrible piece of rubbish, but it was a start. And I practiced little bits that he showed me that he knew. He told me what a daddy-mummy roll was and showed me how to practice my singles and where the bass drum should go. And that was about the end of his knowledge. But it got me rolling. I wasn't even good enough to be in a local band at that time, but I was good enough to play with him. He did dinner dances on the Saturday night, and over Christmas period he was working all the time. And occasionally his drummer would be double booked and couldn't do it. So I could handle waltzes and foxtrots and quick steps. And I'll tell you more about that next time.